probably the fact you get the best seat in the house, and there are people at race events all around the world that have to pay money to go and sit in the stands and watch their heroes. And one of the good things from my point of view is that I get to almost be paid to go and do it, and you get to see some different circuits and meet different people. But yeah, you can indulge your hobby and actually get paid for doing it, which is pretty cool. I don't have a favourite, I have a least favourite, but I'll pretty much enjoy everything. I'm not a bike fan at all, it's always car racing. Touring cars, GT cars, single-seaters, don't really mind. I can't claim to be a huge rally fan, but as long as it's a good race, I don't mind. The worst thing in any category is that you end up with no overtaking in a long, drawn-out processional race. The only type of racing I really don't like is an English category for caterings, the Lotus 7 lookalikes. The noise is one of the things, and the fact that you just can't see it in Europe. I suppose you could get on a plane, you could go to Bahrain or Abu Dhabi as a European to watch the racing, but it's a very Australian thing, and it really only happens in its proper format over here. Even if you go and watch it in the Middle East, you don't have the colour, you don't have the fans, you don't have the trucks, you don't have the merchandise, you don't have the extra bits that go with V8 Supercars. So the noise is part of it. The fact that it's a unique type of racing, the fact that there are people here that I know as drivers because I've seen them in Europe, the fact that there are people in it that I only ever get to watch in Australia, and there are people that I learn about through coming to watch V8 Supercars. But the main thing is that it's just damn good racing. And when you've got a field of 29 noisy, sideways, oversteering cars having a real war on a track like this, where it's narrow, where it's fast, where it's dramatic, it's just great racing. Le Mans. Short answer, Le Mans. Second best is Spa, third best is Bathurst. Those are the three best. Le Mans because of what the event is, because of the fact that you've got the 24-hour element to it, the fact that it's got so much history, so much heritage, so much danger, even in this modern era. Spa is excellent because it's fast, it's open, and then you've got Bathurst, which in many ways is like Spa, but because it's that bit narrower, it doesn't quite engender the same speed or the same overtaking as Spa does. But those are the three iconic circuits. The one I've not yet been to, which I'd like to go to, is Monaco, because again, that, like all of those other places, really is not just a circuit, it's an event as well. But Le Mans, Spa, Bathurst, best three. The worst circuit, I'd call that, is a tough one. And it's probably the Valencia street circuit or the Hungaroring, neither of which have ever given huge amounts of overtaking. And I was there at the Valencia street race in 2008 for the first Grand Prix round there, and we watched all the support races, and there was drama and there were cars on the wall, and you thought this is going to be a really good Grand Prix, so much is going to happen in this. And nothing did. And we sat there for an hour and a half and we watched these cars drive around, and the only real drama was Massa and Sutil nearly crashing in the pit lane. So that was fairly boring, and it's a great shame. And the Hungaroring as well just doesn't really give a great amount of overtaking. And so you watch cars go around there, and once you've got the grid, you pretty much know the order, and that's, for me, not what racing is about. If I wasn't calling motor races, I would try to be a motor racing journalist, because I would want to be involved in motorsport somehow. I never wanted, when I was a small boy, to be a marshal. My ambition to be a driver soon faded away because I realised I probably wasn't going to be any good at it. You see so many people that try and just don't get anywhere. So I thought, well, how can I indulge my passion? And that was through calling races. But yeah, a journalist or a PR role, something that got me involved. But I enjoy being sort of media related, so something in that vein. But yeah, I could see myself with a notepad and a pen and being out as a journalist. Probably Faithless, followed by a solo artist, and this is where you're going to laugh, Phil Collins and Tina Turner. All right, stop laughing. Mark Seymour is added to that list as well. On a personal note, it's because I love the country and I love the racing, but somebody has to ask me, and I'm very fortunate that years ago when I came for the first time to Adelaide, I made friends with a guy called Aaron Noonan, who you probably all know, and he has been a friend ever since. And when occasional international events have cropped up, he's said, you know, you ought to come out to this. Mainly the Bathurst 24-hour race was the first one, and so I got to know some people, and you get to know more people. And for the 2008 Bathurst event, when we had a bit more international representation, he put a good word in for me with the TV side of the organisation, who said, yeah, okay, we'll have an international voice, and it went down reasonably well. So on the back of that, I was asked to get involved in the TV coverage of Bahrain last year, and then this year to come and do Bathurst and here at Sydney Olympic Park. So it's partly the fact that I like the racing, and it's partly the fact that now I'm lucky that the people at V8 Supercar events come and ask me back. No, Britain's always been the best at sport. You should know that. Stupid question. iPod. iPod and a good book.